Hey, Hunter.
Hey Dan, how's it going?
You know what? We recorded last week right before Comic-Con, and
I
we said,
remember
"Hey,
that.
we're gonna record next week, see how we did." So,
Yes.
last week, we told everybody that we were either gonna look like geniuses or fools by the
Oh,
time Comic-Con actually happened.
yeah. So, moment of truth. I guess we should follow up and grade our how we did and see
Yeah,
if we actually are the fools we think we truly are in our heads, in our hearts.
yeah. I mean, there's one that's very achievable and one
Yeah.
that is not realistic. But you know what?
True.
Spoiler, we don't know. So,
Okay.
topic by topic, prediction, reality, grade.
All right. Great. No mercy.
Some mercy.
All right. Let's just find out how we did.
All right. So, the first one, topic one, Marvel Hall H Doomsday.
Yeah, that's right. So, prediction last week, we said no full breakdown till it actually happened. It has happened, but we did mention some extra Doomsday footage since the trailer launched early.
Yes, so the reality, Marvel's first Hall H panel since 2024. Herbie, the robot, rolled out on stage as live action warm up to the panel. They gave out Doctor Doom masks for all 6,500 seats. And I mean, I don't know if you saw these things. They're
I
pretty
did not.
impressive. I mean, they're like masks with a hood, a little bit of a top half of the cape, not the whole
Okay.
thing. And, I'm kind of curious, like, what these things might be fetching on eBay.
Okay. All right. So, well, you said it, and I knew I had the same thought in mind. So I'm looking it up. The last one that
Yeah.
sold, so they also gave away a poster. Last one on eBay sold for over $250.
Oof.
There've been some a
Okay.
little cheaper, but it's fetching a pretty good coin there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, they had a massive lineup of 16 MCU cast members. They had the main characters on the main stage, and they opened up the side stage, and there were the Avengers. They opened up this side stage, there were the X-Men. They all came together. They played new footage, as predicted,
Yep.
and it sounded pretty amazing.
Yeah, I also watched a video. Ryan Reynolds crashed the panel, or the lineup, dressed in a special Deadpool suit. He asked a question from the audience, so everyone, freaked out about that. And then Kevin Feige really just started dropping bombs left and right. And so we got Vision Quest that gets an October 14th release date. That's a third chapter in the WandaVision trilogy of sorts.
Yeah, and something else. Black Panther 3 is officially happening. Ryan Coogler's directing again. David Johnson, who the last time we saw him on the big screen, he was recently in Alien Romulus, which I have not watched
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
He's stepping in as the new T'Challa. I believe he's playing Toussaint, who was the son who they introduced in the Black Panther 2, and then something else out of the blue. Ryan Gosling is Ghost Rider.
That's pretty cool. So a lot of people have been wanting that for a while. I think Ryan has
Mhm.
been wanting that for a while
Yeah.
too. So pretty cool that they made that happen. It's kind of fun seeing them, do a little fan service. We had John Krasinski
Yeah.
as Fantastic Four in that kind of realm. In what was that, Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah. The
Multiverse of
Multiverse of
Madness.
Madness. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was something fans had been really shooting for a while. So it's fun to see
Yeah.
them bringing some of this stuff in.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we go based by, our first one, what do you think our grade is here?
I'm going to say D. How about just D?
Hmm.
I don't know if it's necessarily on an educational scale. Let's just call it D for Doomsday. So,
Great.
one thing we're right about of, some extra footage. Black Panther
Yeah.
3, didn't see that. I would call that a pretty good surprise. We knew it was coming eventually, but,
Mhm.
not sure if it was coming at Comic-Con there. Ghost Rider, total surprise. Didn't see that one at all.
No, not at all. So, all right. Well, let's move on. The next thing we talked about last time, topic two, which was Apple's TV Hall H debut. Now, our
Mhm.
prediction, we call this Apple planting a flag. There was the first ever Hall H slot. with the big 2-hour block for Silo, Widow's Bay, Dark Matter.
That's right. Yeah. So reality, I think we did pretty good. I would call it solid. So 2-hour panel, exactly like we said. Some surprises. Matchbox the movie getting a trailer. John Cena doing his own stunts. He has little cars. I think the whole movie's just him playing with cars, and he's doing those own stunts. It's all him. It's very impressive. Dark Matter season 2 footage, Mayday footage. We got some new footage from that. A new action comedy starring Ryan Reynolds again. There he is again. And Neuromancer got a surprise release date, January 22nd. So that's coming up. Widow's Bay took a full victory lap because they were nominated for 19 Emmy nominations.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Crazy.
I don't think they were just surprised. I think everybody was more or less in shock. And not because it's not well deserved. It is well written, great looking, a lot of fun. It sticks the landing on so many counts. But 19 is so many. So
yes, yeah.
I mean, that's where are they making up the categories?
Yeah.
Best show for giving me the willies.
Yeah.
Oh,
it did that. Yes. Very good.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give us a grade here, and I'm going to say I know it's not educational, but I'm going to give us a B.
Yeah, B.
Good.
I'm
going to give us a B. Now there was no one more thing. Classic.
We
Apple.
did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I think it was a semi-clean prediction.
Okay. Very good. All right. What's next on the docket here? Topic 3.
Topic 3 was Amazon Prime Video.
All right. So prediction last week, we called this an absurd amount of IP in one room, I believe, right? So cast, crew, trailers. What do we got?
Okay. So the reality, Blade Runner 2099, it got its first trailer and a November 25th release date. Michelle Yeoh is a replicant Blade Runner. Hunter Schafer is her human fugitive partner. We also got to see Rings of Power Season 3 is premiering November 11th. I talked about that a little bit. But they did reveal that Simon Pegg is going to be the voice of the Balrog. So I didn't know he could talk, but there you go. What surprise,
You didn't know Simon Pegg
really
could talk?
I did not know he could talk. I thought that was Nick Frost the entire time.
Amazing.
So, but there was one surprise. Carrie, the classic Stephen King novel, again. I did not see this one coming, but we'll see. It's one that seems to kind of circle around every 12 years or so, and it's coming back.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you texted me about that. Is that a movie or TV show?
You know what? I believe it's a series.
Wow. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Looking forward to that. So also exciting, a few other little things. They dropped official trailers for the 4th season of Reacher. Great show. Spin-off series also in the works, coming out shortly. Neagly, starring Maria Sten, or Frances Neagly from Reacher from the original series. So those should be good too.
Now, and I like Neagly just for the fact that she is a huge serial fan.
Yeah. Yes. Quite a few shirts that say so.
So happy to see that. Always happy to see that her character sticks around. Each season,
never know.
There's a couple moments. Well, you never know.
Right.
All
so
right.
I'm trying to think, Dan, like a grade on that one. I think I'd give us a C+, maybe. So Simon Pegg as Balrog, as you said, didn't call that. But the absurd amount of IP prediction, pretty sure we secured that. Completely accurate.
Completely accurate. All right. Topic 4, DC. Now, we talked about this. Our prediction, we said DC used to own that room. And this year it was just the Lantern show because Gunn and Reeves, James Gunn and Matt Reeves, they're both off shooting other things.
Right.
The next Superman movie and the Batman 2 whenever that comes out.
Yeah, so that was the reality. No
Mhm.
dedicated DC panel, like we said, but Lanterns did get its own little panel, dropped a new trailer, which is really good.
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler as an older, grizzled Hal Jordan, Aaron Pierre as rookie John Stewart. And they're calling it a sort of a true detective crossed with Green Lanterns comics kind of vibe. So it premieres
Mhm.
August 16th on HBO Max, coming up really fast.
Yeah, really fast. I think their vibe is spot on. It does feel. In fact, the first teaser, you didn't even realize it was Green Lantern. It was, you know what
Hmm.
I mean, because it was just like
Yeah,
it's a detective show.
right.
But it looks solid. Keep our fingers crossed. But there was also some smaller teases. Most notably, there was an animated movie called Batman Nightfall Part One. That's
Okay.
coming to digital next month. And then we've got the live action Clayface film that they talked about a little bit. I think that's going to have more discussion at New York's Comic Con.
Okay. Well, I will have to come
So,
back for that then, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. So
uh,
what do you give us on
so
this?
I would give us a grade. This was an easy A. It was a clear win on the prediction, and genuinely, the trailer for Lanterns rocks, but no surprises there. I think we called that, top to bottom. I think we're
Go
affecting
us.
the overall bell-shaped curve, but there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, topic 5: Star Trek. They had their 60th anniversary.
All right. So prediction: would we hear about the Tarantino script? I'm not sure if either of us really thought that would come about. But Dan, did we?
The reality, no.
No. Yeah. But there was a massive 60th anniversary panel. George Takei, Jerry O'Connell, a huge multi-era reunion, also a separate Strange New Worlds panel. Not
Mhm.
one single mention of Tarantino anywhere.
No. And with the biggest Star Trek news of the weekend, at Collider's Directors on Directing panel, writer-directors Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, completely left field, told us that the next Star Trek movie, we're going to have another Star Trek movie. So the next
Right.
Star Trek movie is getting an entirely new cast. Okay. Zero legacy characters. That's never happened before in the history of the franchise. Going way back. They were, as long as the original cast have been alive, they've always managed to bring them in somehow. You know,
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy was he was Spock on Next Generation. He was
Mm-hmm.
Spock in the Kelvin timeline, the
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams movies. So I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, wow, okay, something new. It's still early in development, so we'll just have to sit tight for a while. We don't really know much more than that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds exciting.
Hmm?
Excuse me, if you will, a bold move. They're not having any. I know, not having any characters from the past. That's always a risky move, but really, I could see how that makes some sense. And chart your own path. Also, sort of a pun there. But anyway, I would say on Star Trek, grade C. We didn't get Tarantino. I don't know if we thought we really would. It would have been pretty cool if we did.
Yeah,
But the actual news, completely separate from the Star Trek panels at all, blindsided both of us anyway. So new Star Trek,
yeah.
no legacy characters. Pretty cool.
Yeah, big surprise. The topic 6 and 7 that we talked about last time, were the Steve Ditko retrospective and Godzilla hitting the comic books again. Not much there. I have nothing. I couldn't find anything about them, so I think these were relatively smaller panels. But
Yeah,
we can't grade ourselves here, so we just leave these blank.
yeah,
That's the best we
that
can do. We're
works.
just gonna leave them blank and move on to the
Fine with
next
me.
one.
All right, what's the next one?
Uh, you know, uh, uh, topic 8: Seth Green, the Lucas Museum, and Star Wars detours.
Yeah. So I think this was maybe a big Dan win here. So prediction, Dan said he wanted Detours released before he dies. My exact reaction, if memory serves, was some flavor of skepticism that this might
Mhm.
happen, but sounded cool. Well, Dan, what was the reality here?
The reality is it's happening, and I want this on record. I said this would happen at the Lucas Museum panel. Green confirmed Detours is finally going to be shown publicly. His actual quote: "We made a show with George. He wanted to make Simpsons in the Star Wars universe, word for word, what I said it would be. Only playing at the museum itself, however. So that's the caveat. It's opening September 22nd. It's not a streaming release. It's not even the full series. They didn't say, they just said some of it.
Yeah, some
Uh,
episodes.
but
Yeah.
those are asterisks I don't really care about right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'll give you it. You were right. I don't enjoy saying that ever, but you were right, and I am bummed that it's only at the museum, but
Yeah.
kind of makes sense now. We're wondering, well, why would Seth Green be at the museum panel, and there's Star Wars Detours,
Hmm.
and now it makes sense. So they're playing
Hmm.
it at the museum. All right, fine. But
Yes.
hey, maybe
Yes.
we'll see. Well, maybe we'll actually see it outside of the museum someday.
This is true. I mean, you never know. Okay, so we had one left field one, and you know what? I am embarrassed that I didn't even consider this.
Yeah.
I am thrilled that they were there, and we're talking about Spaceballs, the new one.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we're both huge Mel Brooks fans, and oh man, what were we thinking? This didn't even make our list.
For anybody who's not aware, is Spaceballs, the sequel, finally getting an actual sequel.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks is behind it. He wasn't at Comic-Con, but he did have a message. He's 100.
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
hundred now.
little up there. He's a little up there.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, just I think Mel Brooks is the only person who was able to achieve getting this one person we're going to talk about out of retirement. And I don't know if you saw any of the fan reaction to him, but it was
Oh, I did.
genuinely well deserved and pretty heartwarming.
Yeah, I did. And you're talking about, of course, Rick Moranis. So he was
Hmm.
hiding in the Hall H audience. Not a great hiding spot, but he was there. If you
Hmm.
check out the footage, and he was in a dark helmet mask. First Comic Con ever for him. Came on stage and talked with the rest of the panel. And yeah, he didn't have much in terms of credits post like 2007, 2008. So
Mm-mm.
he's been out of the mix for a while. I remember reading a while ago it was kind of to focus on, being a father, which is
Hmm.
admirable there.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's back. He's back, everyone.
yeah. I really genuinely believe that he probably wouldn't have done it except for the fact that Mel Brooks is like, Mel Brooks was like, "I'm 99 years old.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm going to
Oh
be
yeah.
there. You can be there."
Had to be
But
absolutely. And Mel is going to be there, right? So he's going to
he
be in the
is. He
new movie.
is. Yeah, he's coming back as Yogurt. Came back through motion
Nice.
capture because again he's 100, so he couldn't be on the set. But
Yeah.
you know this is exciting. We got as much of the original cast as they could.
Right.
Bill Pullman,
Mm-hmm.
Daphne Zuniga, Bill
Yep.
Pullman's son, who
Right.
you
Looks a lot
know
like him.
Oh, it was so funny when I was watching, and we're talking about Lewis Pullman, who played Bob and Sentry in Thunderbolts,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing as Wyatt Russell, where when you realize that this person is somebody's son, and then you're like,
Yeah.
well, now that's all I see.
Yeah, Kurt Russell, and then they cast Kurt Russell as Wyatt Russell's father in the Godzilla show. What was the name of that? The Monarch, right?
Monarch,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, And wow, what great casting! It looks just like him. So yeah, and
Yeah.
absolutely. So it's another good casting for this movie here. And also, they revealed at Comic-Con an entire parody cinematic universe for Spaceballs. So hey, we're not stopping here, everybody. And they called it the Almighty Schwartz Saga.
The ass.
Yes, the ass. Yeah, so multiple phases, I think up to phase 10, maybe even past that. Also, a recommended viewing order that differed from the release order, of course. A whole larger idea, if you will, that this Almighty Schwartz saga might have. The ass was a whole lot bigger than anyone anticipated, is what I'm trying to say.
And well done. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were able in this one panel to troll years of Comic-Con appearances by a number of franchises.
Yeah.
Some that we've talked about today. It was pretty well played. And I have to say, this is one that just we completely missed.
Yes, our apologies, but so happy to see everybody coming back to this. Mel Brooks, being involved. Can't wait for this. And
No.
so Spaceballs, the new one, coming out soon.
Yeah. So, okay, there you go. It was quick, relatively painless, but let's talk about our final tally, or really the most important thing that everybody's wondering: geniuses or fools?
Yeah. So the final verdict here, I don't know. I think we're usually geniuses, but I would say because I think that inherently makes us fools. What do you think?
Let's go one step further. Why not be both? We could be
Okay.
foolish geniuses or
Yes.
genius fools.
Yes.
Tomato, potato, whatever.
Was that? Yeah. It's like you had an idea there.
Yeah,
Ding.
so
It was good.
no, there you go. That's Comic-Con 2026, fully graded and brought to you by myself, Dan, and Hunter.
And Hunter. And thank you for joining us always. What were your thoughts on Comic-Con? Leave it down in that little section below our faces. Always comment. We like to read what you have to say. And comment back. So, hey, do that. Subscribe, like, share, do all the things, as we always say.
Yeah.
And until next time, Dan.
Snack bar's closed.
See ya.